Choices. We all have choices. We don't choose where we've been raised, and we might not even choose the schools that we go to, the community that we brought under. But we as individuals have choices that we can decide to agree or disagree amicably. For example, you can be raised from a very domestic, abusive family where all through you've never witnessed love between a couple because the only thing you've seen is your parents fighting from the day that you were born, all through, even at their older age. But you as a person have a choice to make to take those seeds that have been planted within your environment or pluck them out and plant new seeds. You can be raised in a family home where authority is never questioned. The one person, anyone, whatever is said, that is right. But you can look at the situation and be like, something is off here. You have a choice to speak. You have a choice to be silent. You could be in an environment or in a community where within your environment has a high crime rate, and you witness someone stabbed or shot, and in whatever circumstance, or robbed, and whatever circumstance you have option to help them. That does not mean get into that whole fight and no. They are wounded. You have a choice to attend to the wounded person or choose to be like the environment around you and let the darkness take over. You can be raised in a family where it's in a church family or in a religious setup where whatever a religious leader says is right, but we forget they take things out of context. Most of them will take things out of context to favor something they want to target. And because no one questions the narrative, everybody does what they are told, and eventually you're led astray. You can be in an environment where politicians pay people to come for their campaign, and then stand up there with all the cameras and everything and give lies, and then say, when we get into power, we'll do ABCD. But their track record has shown corruption, extrajudicial killings, and many other vices. You have a choice to hold every leader accountable, or else they'll rob you of every single thing you've ever had. You could be in an environment where police brutality is the end of the day. You have a choice to speak, because you might say, well, it's not me. Forgetting the word, I'm a good citizen, something within that line. Until the day it's you or someone you love. Then those words you once uttered, thinking you are a better person, will bite your lip. You have a choice to speak out. You have a choice when you have an opportunity to stand up and rise and say, this is wrong. You have a choice when you choose to do nothing about it, then don't complain. If you choose not to take the opportunities that have been granted to you, let's say you're in a working environment and your employer has this opportunity for trainings within and even externally, or there are conferences and seminars that you can attend, and it won't affect your work. It actually promotes, it actually helps you, empower you. And you decide, well, I still have some duties I have to sort out here, yet the opportunity has been given. You have a choice to attend that opportunity within that grace period, or you have a choice to sit down and whine till kingdom come. You have a choice when you've been either in an unhealthy toxic relationship and you get out and go through your healing process. You have a choice to either change and learn and unlearn what you've endured and be a better person. Or you could be also that toxic person and continue on that trait and be the seed or be the little fire that burns the whole harvest. You have a choice. You have a choice to be raised in a home where it's very abusive. But you have a choice when you become a parent or an uncle or an auntie or whichever to show love to those who depend on you. You have a choice when you see an animal being hit or done something abusive. You have a choice to protect that animal and show it love. We all have choices. If you look at Moses, a very good example. He did not have a choice to where he would grow up. That he didn't. But he ended up being a prince in Egypt. He had a choice to live and then move to Midian. He had a choice to live within the context of the two environments, 40 years here, 40 years on the other end, making him 80 years by the time he starts his journey, to live by the choices of those, but he made a choice. Abraham, from the Chaldees, all the way to, that should be before Haran, yeah. And having to leave his brother, he had a choice to live the life of the other people. But he chose to be different. We have Job. He had a choice to say whatever words and his thoughts against God. But he chose not to do it. David was a very mighty man. He had a choice to fight Saul and he could have won clean slate. He had a choice to go head to head with Absalom. He could have won clean slate. He had a choice to get Joab out of the way, clean slate. He had a choice not to order the execution of Uriah. He had a choice. We all have choices. The storms are here, no doubt about it. And it's going to get tougher, and every one of us will be squeezed beyond our thoughts. Our brains will be put to a place we can't even comprehend. But we all have a choice to be the light in the darkness and to be the darkness that covers the light. We have a choice. We may not determine the countries. You can go into a country from ended up either as a slave in that country or an immigrant, and then, whichever situation it may be, in an environment that does not work, but you have a choice to be a different character. The character of positivity. That's a choice we make. On social media, everyone has something to say. But you have a choice to filter and discern what is right, what is wrong. Everyone has an opinion. Okay? But you have a choice to be able to identify what is bias, identify what is propaganda, and identify what is truth. And be honest with yourself. And then pick as you go. Because we are what we watch, what we listen to, what we speak, and what we read. That's a fact. Because sometimes it just takes one word, less than 6 seconds, less than a minute, and it changes your life. So we all have choices. You just have to be honest with ourselves. You have to look deep within yourself and ask yourself the truth and be very honest with yourself. Am I where I'm supposed to be? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? And if you have that grain of salt of doubt that your actions are wrong, they don't glorify God, you might want to pull away before things go crazy. If you choose to go engage yourself with a married man or a married woman, and you know very well that that's someone's legal person, and you want to enjoy the money, you want to enjoy the good things, the finer things in life. When your day of rain comes, falling on you and storms, have no one to blame. You made a choice. If you make a choice to ignore someone because they are starting, like there's this saying they always say in Swahili, it will be fadhali nililia kwa baiskeli. Okay, let me try and translate it in different way. It's better to cry in a Range Rover than to cry in a bicycle. So ideally that should mean it's better to cry in riches, doesn't depend how those riches have been found, than humble beginnings. But what's the end game? What happens eventually? Does life not show you dust? Eventually, you'd rather have started under your humble beginnings, built up, than go into someone who's already built up and show dust. For example, and another way to look at it is like in dating. You say, I'd rather date someone who has everything and someone who's starting up. Fine. The one who has everything, how did they get there? What if they got it the legal or illegal way? What if the money they have, but they're toxic, they're narcissists, they're psycho, they're sociopath, they're serial, they have all the worst tendencies. Is the money worth the emotional, mental, spiritual torture? Or is it better to have started with someone who started from wherever they are, slowly, progressively, and build something? Don't you prefer something, a seed something you've been able to see grow? Imagine going to someone who has it all, but you have no voice. You know why? They have everything. So they tell you, leave your job, cut off from your family, cut off from this. And you say, yes, sir. Why? Because what, to get what? Gold? A Range Rover? A Benz? Is that your worth? Is your worth just growing up and then sitting there and getting every blow, everything, and then say this is marriage or this is a relationship? Know your worth. Make the right choices. Life is never, was never, and can never be easy. Facts. We can never use emotions to think. We use logic and by God's grace, discernment. But we don't use emotions to think. Social media makes us so emotional, we forget logic. Don't let logic disappear. We have choices. Make the right choices. Don't blame anyone. Yes, you can make a choice. It's right. And you fall. That's okay. You made a choice. You did something. You made an effort than to do nothing. So whatever choices you make, be honest with yourself. Because at the end of the day, the tears will come from your eyes. The pain will come from you. The others, we are all spectators. And we don't know the pain. Only you know. So make a choice you can live with. Whatever happens, make a choice and be led by God. Because our emotions and the world will always lead us astray. God help you.